How many of your birthdays or birthday parties do you remember?
Isn't that mad? Look, what did I write down there?
So,
Birthdays.
wow. And
Look at this, look at this.
Hector has all the numbers written down there. He wanted to talk about it as well. The fucking coincidence
Look,
of that.
look. 21st, 30th, 40th and
No
50th.
way.
So I remember my 13th birthday, which was at the Galacastletroy in the Seer.
Right.
I remember that. I remember my 18th birthday. I was doing my fucking leaving cert. I was doing
Yeah.
and my granny, the only one in my family, my granny drove over from Athlone with a slice of cake for me and waited in the car park at the school until I was finished the exam, and I walked in and I sat in the car beside her and she said happy birthday and I ate a slice of cake in the car.
Oh, that was a nice birthday.
I remember my 21st birthday drinking on my own in Navan. I was living in Galway and I said to myself, well, sure, I'll go home for my 21st, and I was half thinking it's the only way I'm going to get a couple of quid off the owl pair.
Yeah.
I went home, I headed into town, I made no arrangements, and I was sitting in a fucking pub on my own in Navan drinking.
Tommy, these stories are killing me.
That's the truth of it.
Barcelona on your own, wandering around the streets, and now you're having your 21st.
So I have a 21st.
Did you not invite any of the lads?
Did you have a party?
I was on my own drinking.
But did you?
And the drunker I got, the more people I was telling at
was
the
your birthday.
21st, and no one would fucking believe me because I was drinking on my own. Who's this fucking unpopular Ulton that he has no pals and he's fucking drinking by himself? The next one I remember my 40th birthday, and my wife went to great trouble of inviting all of my friends and
We were
all
there.
of my family.
Yeah.
But
We were there.
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking. I was the only sober cunt in the fucking room.
He was going around with a high-vis jacket, making sure everyone was happy.
So I didn't really get to fucking let
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and have
yeah,
crack and
yeah.
spill myself all over the floor and
Make
be
a fool of
scooped
yourself.
up and be minded the following morning
Yeah.
with your beautiful wife bringing you know, you got a bit out of hand last night. But we'll start the day with a glass of champagne to put you right in your head. My 50th birthday, I spent on a fucking silent Buddhist retreat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And nobody knew it was my birthday. I'd taken a vow.
He couldn't even tell anyone.
I had taken a vow of silence for the 10 days, and halfway through the 10 days, I turned 50. And the
Did you nudge a guy?
no,
Or
but
write-
I was one of me.
sign language? Look,
Write it down on a piece of paper.
No, a fella that I work with.
you befriended him on it.
A fella that I work with is also on the silent retreat, and he knew it was my birthday, and half.
I couldn't even say happy birthday to you.
He couldn't speak, so halfway through one of the meditations, it was an open eye meditation where you just stare at the floor. Halfway through one of my meditations, I fucking glanced over at him and he glanced over at me and he fucking winked, and that was it. That was it. That was my 50th fucking birthday. So I've had a disaster.
Fuck's sake.
So tell me about years now.
Go on,
Tell me about
Laurita.
your birthdays. Can you
Laurita
remember?
first.
Did you remember any of
I
your?
remember my 18th birthday. I was camping on the shores of Lake Derravara because I was working for Calacastletroy, the Irish language, in the winter, and it was after the last summer course, and I used to run this thing called Campafinish, which was the convenient camp where I'd get a few hardcore Irish lads, about 15 and 16, and we'd get a load of tents, and we'd go on these military manoeuvres in the woods down near Lake Derravara, and we'd camp on the lake, and we'd all...
You teaching them Irish?
We'd have all combats on us, and we'd speak Irish, and we'd do military manoeuvres in a wood.
What you mean? You do fucking military
Tell
manoeuvres.
us that again. Now tell us.
We called it the Campafinish, the Fenian camp, and it was sort of like an extra course for the hardcore Irish speakers that were really
Irish speakers.
yeah, the boys that were really into it, like raising the flag and stuff.
Yes, but-
do you get my drift? I can't really elaborate a little bit.
The war is over, Hector. You're trying to spill the beans. You've got diplomatic immunity.
This would be the lads that would be really into Calacastletroy and the Gaeilge and all for the cause. And
So the flag, the tricolour,
flag, yeah.
the United Ireland.
yes,
The enemy has to be defeated.
What were you doing?
There's a fucking
We
18-year-old leading 4 fucking 15-year-olds in a wood down in fucking Derivada,
it was just
raising
like,
the flag.
It was just like
Dúshigí, dúshigí.
Dúshigí. Einige lads, that's your share clock budget. Military manoeuvres and ish, got to the ray.
Fuck! Tell assassin is the clown shin.
And we'd all have a pair of binoculars go, fair class of luck. Calculor, Ketao, Neela Sagam, right, Sister Chuck, got to the, she's her Norlar. We'd crawl through the woods then. And
Siggy Hill.
we'd wait then. We'd wait in the woods with fake guns. We'd
Fake guns. Yeah. Made of what?
wood.
Made of
Just
woody guns.
woody guns. Cunis, tell here. Right, a right in, Kerkeleor. Keg will an air school. Who's got the map? Right, Thomas John Shaw points to A. Thomas Gulga points to B. Right, got to that, a right in.
Sounds like that laser cam.
I have photos of me in the Campa Finish. You want to have seen the cut of us.
And would you have like do the
Black markings
on the face?
And the
this
army.
this was a mixture between the FCA, the SAS Who Dares Wins, and the Irish Army. Yes. And it was so. It was my 18th birthday on it, and Loch Derravara was such a special place near Crookedwood. I love that little village outside Mullingar. But Crookedwood was the nearest point, nearest shop. We were self-sufficient for 5 days and 5 nights at the lake. It was a special lake.
Now, can I ask you a question? This is what you're doing, right? But was there an adult?
He was the adult.
No, but was there an adult in the organisation saying, Hector, will you take them boys away for a bit of military training?
I'm the adult.
No, but whose idea was it to take them training?
This was a long-standing thing for the summer.
A radical group.
Was it Caliphate?
Caliphate. This was more
Caliphate and Tommy.
This was for more, like, you understand, these guys were going to 2 or 3 months of summer courses. They were working as Cúntóirí and prefects. They were already assimilated into the cause.
Yeah, but what I want to know, Hector, is I understand that you are taking them out into the woods.
They'd fill out a form. The parents would fill out a form.
But who in head office is kind of sanctioning?
What office?
It's like if somebody saying Hector's taking the new recruits out to the wood. They'll be fucking, he has them for 5 days. They'll be fit to fucking kill when they come in.
It was one of those signs for the supermarket.
You a picture next week at the head of us. It looks like something from the fucking Black and Tans. I have a great picture of them. We're all in combats.
And you're obviously taking it really seriously.
Yeah, we're all dressed in combats from head to toe.
With woody guns.
But it's SAS Who Dares Wins. It's boys going out camping and doing manoeuvres and crawling through the mud and
who
waiting in a. Have you ever waited at a lump of fucking moss and in a wood?
Which is on your head.
And it's there, like, it's quiet and shh.
And all everything Oscailge.
But who are you waiting for?
We're on manoeuvres, Laurita. They
were waiting for themselves to get tired.
What do you think you do on tactical manoeuvres? You have to fucking wait. Wait until the time is right.
But Hector, also, who is the enemy?
The enemy is everywhere.
Well, who is it?
Was there a fox?
No, but the enemy's everywhere. The enemy's everywhere. You just don't know. I would create a manoeuvre every day.
Was there like the trees?
Where we'd have to go on an expedition.
What were you looking for?
We were on an expedition. We were recruits.
What were you like? What are you like training the under-15s out in fucking Clare Galway? If you're coming from the
That's why
military
we're
background.
winning county titles. Right, lads, get out. Hold on. Like.
Going around the beach with
the
their
far
backpacks
side of the
on.
lake, for example, was Canuckine, which is the mountain where you could see 7 counties, and so we would say, right, today.
Now, if you could get there and take it over, that would be a huge thing.
We've enough supplies for 5 days.
I would have a map of the lake, and it's about 7 miles long. So I would say we would go to point A now, and we'd have our compasses, and we'd get to point B, and then we'd climb the top of the mountain.
And the whole thing is to move without being seen.
Yeah, but we'd sit on top of the mountain, then we'd lie in on the top of the mountain was like meadow long grass, and we'd be all the way through the meadow on our hands and knees.
Did you ever actually see anyone else?
Huh?
Did anyone else see you? Or did you see anyone else?
Nobody knew we were there. It was undercover. We were undercover. But my mother came with a present for me. Hector! I'm in here, by the way. Hector!
She brought more shopping for you.
And then one day, Hector!
And your mum is straight from the woods.
Cutest, and you can hear hello. But she had a yellow Citroen Visa.
Stand down. Hector's mother's coming. Stand down.
Oscailge, you have to say that. Oscailge.
All right.
Sitius.
My mother had a yellow Citroen Visa, right? And she drove down through the fields coming towards And I'll never forget it because I didn't want the Citroen Visa coming into the camp. So I just ran up the field to meet Trina, my mother, and she brought me down a fucking Levi jacket for my 18th birthday. And she said, I got this for you in McKenna Man and Nav. And she knew I wanted it. I was big into the denim Levi jackets. And she gave me the jacket.
Can I ask you, did she think you weren't going to come back?
She knew I was big into the language, and all of this was just
the language
extension of
camp.
it. So that was my 18th.
Oh, that was good.
I never forget the image of a Citroen Visa coming down a field towards the military camp.
And
We couldn't let her into the camp.
The military camp?
I have sentries. I've lads on sentry duty through the night and through the day. Stop.
So you had to tell them. Had you walkie-talkies or anything?
Absolutely walkie-talkies, binoculars. They're like, go channel,
they're called
channel here, lads.
Shooty Kinchies.
Lads,
Shooty Kinchies. Shooty Kinchies.
go channel here, Hector.
Channel ahead, Shooty Kinchie.
Tá an grí ag teachtanéis agus tá sé ag báisteach an seo an digad tú over.
And your man is 100 yards down the road. Over. Tá sé ag trasna, ag cul trasna.
Shirley Kinchies. So that was my 18th.
Did you ever go back on those trips?
No,
you?
I think we were.
And did the
Disbanded.
training ever
Come in useful.
come in useful in any other part of your life?
No, but for you can understand that we were. I was in the summer college, the Gaeltacht, for June, July, and August. So the college would finish. The last one would be all sad around the 20th of August, but we wouldn't be sad because on the Sunday when the course had over, I'd have my little band of 11 disciples, my 11 apostles, and we'd all head to the lake then for manoeuvres.
And did you have the map hand drawn
I'd have
out?
it all.
and
We'd
did
have
you
all
give it-
tactical displays, compasses, everything. This was high tech. We didn't have live ammunition.
Biros and paper and
Yeah.
and
we were
fake
cooking
ones.
out at night time on a big fire, and we had our tent assembled. We had an Irish flag flying high every day. We'd take it up and take it down. Or Dieter, an Bratach na Shunta.
And would you sing the national anthem?
Yes, and then we take it down and fold it properly.
Legends.
Lessons.
What did you do for your 21st? Can you remember?
I don't know. I can't remember what the fuck happened my 21st. My 30th I had in Spain with about 20 mates. We went to Torrevieja. We rented a house in a complex, and 20 of us went out to Torrevieja, and I don't remember much of that. I remember being in a swimming pool, in a baby's pool at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we all took the old plastic seats down into the baby's pool, and we were still up, and we had cigars and bottles of rum, and it was early morning. We'd done a good night's shift. We were partying. We went to a club called Pasha. Oomfa, 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 oomfa. And then at one stage at 4 o'clock in the morning in this club, the roof opened. The roof opened, and it was a whole terraced area, and it was banging techno, and we were having a good. We went down to the Monk's bar. Do you know the monk? Do you know the monk? The monk.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
The monk bought a boozer in Torrevieja called the priest's chair or the druid's chair or something like that, and we had heard that the monks had a pub, so we went in there for an afternoon, and then we went to a nightclub, and it was Pasha, and then that next morning, I remember we had a great night that night, but sitting in a baby's pool with about 20 of your mates and all the women, all the men, all the boys, and we're just sitting there smoking cigars and
Beautiful. And can you remember your 40th was in the electric
my
picnic?
40th, I was lucky enough to know.
Another thing with the roof off.
That was roofs off there. I was lucky enough that the boys, friends of mine who were involved in the electric picnic, gave me permission. And John Reynolds, God bless him, when I rang him and I said I wanted to do, because a lot of mates were working behind the scenes at the electric picnic, I said, is there any way we can give me a little tent or something? Just somewhere, little corner.
Ended up in a big tent.
It was a fucking massive tent in the near the electric arena. When everyone else pissed off and they closed the area, we had our own massive tent. You could fit a couple of thousand in there. We had DJs. There was a lot of there was a safari full of different eclectic types of people. A lot of the crew came in there. Tommy was in the middle of it, and
Dancing with no drugs or drink on me.
Because your 40th, it was coming up and you weren't drinking at the time.
you weren't drinking. Or
And how long did you last?
I
at the
lasted a
party?
good while because once I get into be dancing, it's hard to stop me.
I can imagine you go in the corner dance.
I don't have a lot of moves, but the ones that I do have, I'm very comfortable with.
So that was me 40th. I did nothing for me 50th. I did
Nothing?
fucking nothing.
Says the man who was on a retreat.
What did I do with me 50th? I think, will you have a dinner at the house? I don't know. But anyway, isn't that a good one, the age?
How come we not minded to do something for your 50th? It just
I think I might have. No, I just sort of did. What did we do? Was I away with the missus? I can't fucking remember. But isn't it funny the way the 21st or
Will
the
you be
18th
having 60th birthdays or is that inappropriate?
well, ask us closest to the
closer? That's
closest
You make
to
it
the
a
time.
long
But
time.
I have a feeling I might go mental for me 60th.
Well, you'll have to catch
I'm
up
gonna
on a
take
lot
all
of
the-
birthdays.
I know, used all the frustrations from 13, 18, 21, 40 and 50, and I'm just going to go fucking
Wild.
ape shit. I'm going to, do you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I am going to hire out, if the health board would let me, the old psychiatric hospital in Ballinasloe.
Oh, that's appropriate.
And there's going to be a different drug in every room. And different music and barbecues and fellas over
Yeah.
from India playing fucking
Belly crime.
improvised sitar.
You could go in and do belly dancing and fucking and Buddhas and Hindus.
As the fella said, pointing to his own skull, watch